What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind sports talk. All right, check it out, man. We're talking something a little different this morning. Uh and RIP to this young lady here, Breonna Taylor. Um, but this was interesting. I just wanted to talk about this topic this morning, guys. Martin Machine in the building. What's good with you, fam? He said, "Sad, bro, killed that woman in the comfort of her own home." Yeah, man. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And I don't really talk about a lot of these topics, and this type of stuff is going on all over the place now. This coincidentally happened a couple of months ago. The thing is that with everything going on with COVID-19 and sports shutting down, and all of this type of thing, situations like this kind of get glossed over. The media is not putting any attention to this. Now, if we didn't have COVID-19 and sports shutting down, if you guys remember, prior to the COVID-19 situation and sports shutting down, they were blasting racism and anything concerning police brutality or police injustice. They was blasting that type of shit all over the media. And the point was to cause a social divide. And people don't realize this, but that was the whole agenda behind this. This is why the media was pushing this, to cause a social divide. But anytime the police did anything, or there was some sort of racial tension or police injustice or brutality or anything like that, it was being blasted all over the media. How is it that in this case here with Miss Taylor, the police potentially did what would be considered a home invasion / homicide? And that's possibly what happened here. Boxing algorithm, what's good, fam? Getting into that right now, bro. Good morning, D. Yeah, more fuckery continues. Yeah, no doubt. Let me put this link in the chat too, just in case some of y'all, because this is a serious topic, bro. I implore some of you guys to come up here and discuss this. Angel Santos in the building. What's good? Unrivaled. What's good with you, fam? Yeah, some really crazy shit, bro. Hold on, I'm putting the link in the chat right quick. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on in this country, man, and the things that happen. And because of the situation we're in now with COVID-19 and all of that kind of stuff, these type of topics will be glossed over or not brought to anyone's attention in the media of sort. And like I was saying, back to what I was saying, guys, prior to this COVID situation and sports shutting down and everything, I just want to repeat this point because it's valid to the topic. So prior to the COVID situation and I got you, Mark, and sports shutting down and the lockdowns everywhere, at every turn in this country, anytime there was a police injustice or a social divide or racial tension, they were blasting that shit all over the media in this country. And this situation just happened a couple of months ago. How is it that it's virtually unheard of right now? Because they're focusing so much on COVID and the pandemic, they're glossing over this. But this is a potential case where the police could have committed a home invasion / homicide. The police, because they came into this woman's house unannounced, started shooting because her boyfriend, who had licensed firearm, started firing off on some uninvited guests in their house while his wife was in the bed with him sleeping naked. and he start firing off. Of course, they start firing back, and they end up killing her. So this is basically a home invasion and a homicide because they never announced themselves. Nothing. And they're asking the till this day, they're asking the police chief questions about what's going on with that, and he had no answers for anything. Well, we're working on this. Currently, we're investigating that, but no answers for anything. So basically, your fucking cops went into this house unannounced. You know, usually when the police run up into a house, it's like, get down, get on the floor, police. They announce themselves. None of that. None of that. They were inside of this house with their guns drawn, looking around, flashlights wielded, never announced themselves. Even when the guy announced himself and that he had a gun, they still never announced that they were the police. So he starts shooting. And they fire back and they end up killing this young woman. And to this day, right now, none of those cops are locked up. Taxpayers are still paying their salaries. And just like and we're not hearing about it in the news, of course, because we have this pandemic going on and everything else. But that to me is absolutely ridiculous. And attention and awareness needs to be brought to what happened to this young lady. And the fact that none of these fucking cowboy cops are paying the price at any level right now. There's nothing. The only thing they're talking about that they're still investigating. What the fuck is it to investigate? There's a protocol for a reason. There is a protocol for a reason. You guys have the right to carry a gun and use deadly force if necessary. So there's a protocol. You are also public fucking servants. That's why we pay taxes. You're servants so you must announce yourself. This is in place for a reason, bro. You do not enter someone's personal dwelling, do not announce yourself, and start firing off. There's protocols against them firing off without calling in when they're in public. You don't enter someone's home and do that, and then you kill someone? What happened if it was the other way around, and a citizen went into an officer's house and start firing off and kill him? Would they have even made it to a report? No, they probably would have been dead that night because every fucking officer on the police force would have been hunting them down, waiting to put bullets in them. What's up, Mark?
Yo, what's up? This is another tragic case of the police not doing what they're supposed to do. Their main job is actually meant to be to protect the public. That is their actual job. I'm hearing more cases of them killing members of the public than them protecting, in America anyway. Not over here, because we don't have gun laws like you guys do. We don't. We actually, most of our police officers don't even have guns. We only have a special armed unit, So every guy who joins into the police force has a gun in America. Every one of them, and it's. So what happened exactly? This couple were in bed. The police storm into the house.
Right. So let me give a little more of the backstory because I just wanted to give, and of course this is the story that we're getting from the police, but the shit doesn't add up. Okay, it doesn't add up at all.
Well, give us the story that the police are saying.
Okay, so presumably a suspect that they were looking for, and there's two parts to their bullshit story. So presumably a suspect that they were looking for was spotted there at the couple's house maybe a week back or so, right?
So they went into the house a week later.
Well, no, hold on. So also allegedly this suspect that they were looking for was involved in crimes of some sort, but also drug activity. So they allegedly were able to get a search warrant because of drug activity. And they wasn't there looking for the boyfriend or the girl that they killed, but the suspect who allegedly was seen there a week ago.
Okay.
But if you have a search warrant, once again, you
Did they have one?
Your fucking self. You don't fucking Mission Impossible into someone's house while they're sleeping and don't announce yourself. That's not how you execute a search warrant. So that shit is still not adding up, bro.
Did they have a search warrant?
Yeah, they had a search warrant.
So they had a search warrant,
but they never
but they didn't
executed.
like bang on the door saying police or
They
anything like
never
that.
executed a search warrant anywhere near protocol the way the police are supposed to execute a search warrant. First and foremost, you have to announce yourself, bro. That's first and foremost.
Which state did this take place in?
Michigan.
Michigan, okay.
But federally, they have to announce themselves. So it doesn't matter what state when it comes to that, because there are federal laws and there's state laws here, and federal law supersedes state law. So they cannot enter someone's personal dwelling without one, having a search warrant, period. But
and then two, announcing
a search warrant, there's certain protocol you have to follow. And they avoided nullified all of that, negated all of that. They negated all of that. And this woman ended up getting killed. And the boyfriend had every right to defend him and his naked girlfriend where there's 3 intruders in your house. How the fuck you can't tell that they're police? These are 3 guys in your fucking house, unannounced.
That's crazy. What time did this take? Was this during the night?
You know what? I didn't get all the specific details. I won't even lie. I didn't get like the whole case file.
No, I'm just wondering, like, were they in uniform or anything like that?
Well, they were in dark clothes, vests, nothing to alert or allow anyone to know that they were police, period. They were nothing, no way that they could have known, but they have to see again, even if they were in police uniforms and they had the vest on anyway, and it's at night and people are groggy and sleep. Come on. But that's why there's a protocol. Even with all of that gear on, they still have to say, Michigan PD or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? They have to announce that. Police, get down. Let me see your hands. All of that. You don't creep around someone's house. Look, they were in the house looking around, searching. This is already proven. So it's not like they just was in the house and he walked up on it and boom, hey, what are you doing in my house? No, they were already in the house, bro.
That's ridiculous. That's genuinely ridiculous.
It's madness, bro. And what's more alarming to me is that again, it was like there was an agenda in this country for pointing out or pushing every single report concerning police brutality, racial tension, or anything prior to this COVID situation. They made it a point to put all of that on the news and TMZ, every article. You could always find this in the newspaper. They made it a point to push that issue. Now, all of a sudden, that all the evidence points to these cops basically murdering this woman. You don't hear about it. You don't hear anything about it. So, is it like to me? It's like they're gonna just let this young lady be taken away from here by the hands of the police. Just let her be taken away from here. She's just a college grad. Look at this shit, bro. So she gets taken away from here, and nothing is said or done about it. And these police are still on payroll, bro. Are you kidding me? Us taxpayers are still paying these fuckers, bro.
And you know what's going to happen. They're going to be able to do it as justifiable defense. That's what they're going to do in the courts. If it even goes to a courtroom, they'll justifiable defense because the man fired shots. They won't even take into consideration the fact that they came in unannounced, and you know that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Under your constitutional rights, you have the right to fire shots, especially if your weapon is licensed. You have the right to fire shots at an intruder that's inside of your house. That's actually a right. That's the part of the bear arms, the First Amendment rights that they have. The right to bear arms.
I know that. I know they have. I know you have the right. I know you have the right. I'm just saying that, and it's happened before. They'll put this down on the police's side as justifiable defense.
For sure, but see, the thing is where they really fucked it up.
Were they both killed? Was the boyfriend killed too?
No, not both of them.
How the fuck did you kill the one who's not firing shots? That's some fucking shit ass shooting.
I don't know. And I will say this too. The thing is, like, with this case, I know it's touchy because they don't want to. The police department is sure they don't want to lock their cops up, but bro, some of them they got to go down. Shit, bitch said surely the police have. Yeah, right, bro. Do you know that there was a report done on these fucking body cams, and they have statistics showing in many different police departments that these things are being used the way they're supposed to, as low as 17% of the fucking time they're supposed to be used, bro. 17% of the time. The motherfucker should be used 100% of the time. This shouldn't even be a statistic.
So this girl was asleep.
The
This
body
girl was
cams,
asleep.
the body cams, bro. Them just mean nothing.
This girl was asleep in bed with her husband or her boyfriend or whatever. She's just come out of college, you said, and her life been taken away from her. I said this girl was just asleep in bed with her partner, yeah?
Yeah.
And she woke up to die.
Basically, yeah.
Because of some dude who was in someone's house a week beforehand. So they get a search warrant and go in a week later unannounced, and she ends up dead.
Right, and tie it up to some drug connection and all of that shit. When the girl and her fucking boyfriend has no fucking, they're squeaky clean, bro. Like I said, this girl just got a fucking diploma or graduation certificate or whatever the fuck, bro. She had a bright future in front of her. No record, no problems with the law. All of a sudden, they're connected in drugs because of some mysterious guy that was allegedly seen there a week prior to that was allegedly tied up into drugs. So I guess they must have been tied up in the. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like they're living in some lavish. That's another thing. It wasn't like they were in some lavish fucking upscale apartment, bro. They were in a moderate apartment, a moderate American apartment, and a moderate apartment complex. So what the fuck, bro?
That's
sickening, bro. It's sickening.
Like I don't want to say anything that's too crazy, but like America needs to fix itself, man, because this doesn't happen here. That's all I'm gonna say. Like this isn't a shot at American people. This is a shot at like how things work in America. It needs to be fixed because this is the only place where this happens regularly. It's the only country.
Yeah, and she's been. I mean, not she's been, not bad, Mark, but Gretna Maven. Gretna says, this is always happening to our people, D. Jefferson. Let me tell you something. The strange thing is that I was just talking about how they had pretty much an agenda to cause a certain divide. And I would agree with you. This is always happening to our people, but this is always happening to people in this country. Now, when you say our people and I say our people, I generally think we mean two different things because I know what you mean, our people. But what I mean by our people, I mean there has been something going on in this country that has been hidden because what has been put out front by the propaganda of the media. And I'm going to break this down for you, Gretna. What has been put out front by the propaganda of the media in this country is a racial tension, a racial divide. I don't care if it's has to do with the Mexicans, the blacks, the whites. There's a racial tension at every level. That's what's been put out front in the media. So this is the perception. This is what they want you guys to fight over, to feel tensions over, and to throw charges against each other. And it's been working for decades on. But what has been going on behind the scenes, what's actually going on, is they have already created a social divide. So there's only people with money and people without money. Now, the American public has been focused and paying attention and have fed into the racial divide, while the powers to be have been pushing and succeeding on the social divide. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say our people, you're talking about our people. But when I say our people, I mean our people in general who has been divided socially, because that's who they're attacking. And this don't have a fucking thing to do with it. But that's what they've been putting in the media. So when I say our people, it's everybody at a certain income level. And let's get this straight. In this country, if you're not at multi-millionaire status, you're in that income level. Believe it or not. That's a fact. So our people they are, bro. You're right about that. Our people are going through this, but it ain't just black people, bro. They're doing this shit to white people, to Hispanic people. They're killing innocent people, but it has to do with a social divide. It has nothing to do with race. That's the division, and that's the mask that they've been pushing through the propaganda of the media. And stop being fooled, my brother, my sisters out there. Y'all stop being fooled by that bullshit. What's up, Iron Cone, LR? What's good? Tay Powell, what's up, son? Charles D in the building. Toby Bartlett, what's good? Sorry, guys, I done fell way behind on the chat mark because man, that's just how it is, bro. A lot of people, want to make it about a certain race being attacked or something like that, but it's a lot deeper than that. People need to take that.
I know that it's a lot deeper, but it is a higher amount of a specific race that this happens to. We gotta be honest about that.
Charles, Mark, let me explain this to you, because I have brothers like my man South Croy. Shout out to South Croy. Iron Cone is actually in the building. My man Iron Cone. Troy, I know you've talked with Troy before. Listen, I totally get that, especially being an African American myself, bro. And it's not the fact that certain groups or black people in general have not been suppressed more. I'm just tired of the point being made as if other people are not being suppressed and affected by the same exact thing. We cannot just ignore the other people that's being affected by the same exact thing, because the truth is it's about a social divide. They have utilized the race and the things that they have done to fuel their agenda. And it's worked, bro. Because so many people ignore the shit that I'm talking about now, and they go right back to that. Yeah, but black people, but don't say that about the Jews because they killed all of the Mexican people been held down. And they're more focused on that than what's really going on. We got to pay attention to everything. I'm not negating the fact that black people have been shitted on for thousands, hundreds, thousands. I'm not negating any of that, bro. I get that.
I'm just talking in the last
facts, bro. This is America, and America don't give a shit about the past, how much a certain race has been suppressed. It is an attack on anyone who is not at a certain social status. And until people get that and they keep paying attention to these racial tensions and divides, that's exactly what they want you to do.
I'm just saying, like, percentage of murders by police on people. If you were to go and take it, I'm pretty sure the African American people would be 85-90% of that in just the last 10 years.
Well, black people in general and worldwide, it's a worldwide travesty. It's deeper than just African American people. African American people are some of the most sensitive people in the world, if you ask me, because they act like the whole attack and everything is centered around them. Well, your ancestors, a lot of you African Americans, my constituents, you idiots, because it was your ancestors that were dragged from their homeland over here to start all of the bullshit that you guys bitch about. So in general, black people all around the world in general faced and still face transgressions that are at a level where a lot of people get offended. Like, it doesn't matter if they're from America, just being black, in general, they get offended because of these things. People from Africa or from Jamaica or from, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. They get offended in general because people all over the world for years have faced certain transgressions. And I don't like, that's my thing is, it's not about a comparison. We're to a point where it doesn't fucking matter, bro. Because the attack is not about that anymore. It's about a social difference and a social divide. And if we keep focusing on that and what do you think that because this person is going to die and he's Mexican, but this person is going to die and he's black, and the black people who suffered more and longer, that they should die earlier or later? What the fuck does that matter, bro? They're attacking.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
Out of social studies, and that's what we need to start paying attention to. And fuck the social divide, because while we're paying attention to what's black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Indian, or whatever, they're only paying attention to how much you have, how much influence you have, how much money you have, and that's what they're paying attention to. And nothing else matters, bro. That's what we need everybody to get on that wavelength. Divide and conquer, bro. It's like one of the most famous military strategies. Divide and conquer. Instead of unite the people, you have to divide them. You have to keep these racial tensions and differences amongst them so that they always have reservations about teaming up with a nigger or a spick or a Jew or whatever the fuck slang you want to use, or wop, a dago. Yeah, I work with him right now, but I'm not too sure about him. So they keep this social tension when really we all, if you don't, like I said, if you're not a multimillionaire, we really all in this shit together, whether you realize it or not, because that's where the attack is. And I have a lot of fucking things to validate this. I'm not just saying this bullshit. I've been studying this shit for longer than a lot of people that come here have been fucking living, bro. And I'm dead ass about that shit. Since I was in my teens, 18 years old, I've been reading on a lot of this and, sifting through all the bullshit to find the truth. The truth of things that's going on is so outlandish. This is why people call it conspiracy theories and shit like that. Because it's so outlandish. It's like, no fucking way that's going on. Yes, that shit is going on.
Well, I can't specifically go and argue because I don't think I personally, I don't think I have the right to talk about racial issues or systemic growth issues in America because I'm not from there. So it's an easy out, whatever thing I bring up, someone could say you're not from here. So how do you know? So I don't think I get the idea of creating a social divide between people, but at the end of the day, that social divide, the conclusion for them is on money, but they're using it via race. That's how they're using the social divide. And that's where race does come into it. Comparingly, when you start looking at how race is being treated, different levels of these, as you say, these poor groups, and this is everyone outside of multimillionaire status, it's kind of funny how the highest percentage of people who are shot down by the police are just blacks as well. It does become racial at that point. It can't be just systemic, just to money, because otherwise a lot more people of percentages, because there's a higher white population in America. And not only is there a higher white population, a lot of white people in America don't have that amount of money. They're not multimillionaires. They're in debt. There's more people in debt that are white in America than there are blacks that are in debt in America. Yet somehow those people are dead. That's where it comes from. So that's where the systemic amount of money would be differentiated.
Well, it's all by design, Mark. It's all by design, and I'll tell you why I say that. Urban communities, inner city communities, historically even before it was filled with black people. Let's get this shit out in the open. See, this is why I say that a lot of us African Americans are so sensitive that it's all about me, 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 us, us. So let's look at urban city life and crime and considering crime. Like when the Irish mafia and the Italian mafia took, still all of the shooting and the drugs and the guns was in the urban city. And still a lot of them back then, you remember the mob days, guys, dead guys laying all over the street by the hands of the cops. It was a war, them against the cops. So when you have this situation where there's the law against the criminals, then you're going to have more deaths by the law versus those. And that's what the urban culture is in this country. The inner cities are full of black peoples and Latinos, and those guys are the ones that's going to war with the cops. So if the cops are still people, my fucking cousin's a cop, okay? So they're still people. So let's keep everything in perspective. A lot of the motherfuckers in the hood are a danger. And so you're going to get this, incidentally or not. Now, are the people in the suburbs and out in the sticks, are they doing the same things? Are they in the war? Are they in the struggle? No, they're not. So you're going to get a lot less murders there per capita. That's just how it is, bro. The inner city, fucking look at New York. 9 million people packed in those fucking 5 boroughs. How many fucking deaths you going to get out of that, bro? Come the fuck on. So, I mean, we have to look at the whole scope of thing. And again, I'm a black man. I'm not protecting anything or negating anything. It's just people come with these statistics and they come with these facts, and they're the ones negating everything else that's going on. And Tangible said police will never stop doing this. They cannot be trained differently because the prison system is $1 billion industry. Yeah, bottom line, yeah. You can feel the prison money comes into government. Yeah, that's a fact. It's all a part, like I said, it's all done by design. It's designed like certain class and certain race are going to be in certain areas. So I'm not saying that it wasn't done intentionally early on. They designed it to be that way so that a certain class and a certain race of people were in these areas that would be at war. And so they'll be locked up and shot up and kill each other and so forth. I mean, but it's been that way even when, like I said, these crime areas were dominated by predominantly white individuals and gangs as such. It was still the same deaths and the war with the police on these guys. Like you see movies where the police would just pull up on the set and start beating the shit out of these guys, and they were just as white as they are. So it didn't matter then because they were the enemy. They were the criminal. But now that the urban areas are filled with a different race, they're still the enemy. They're still the criminal. So you're going to get a higher level. Okay, Iron Cone is one of these guys I go back and forth with this kind of stuff all the time because where I make it about people, guys like Iron Cone make it about black people. And to me, if people suffer, people suffer. And I don't like to get into black people because it's been more transgressions. Okay, I get it's been more transgressions, but people suffering is people suffering. And I don't care what color they are, but Iron Cone says completely disagree. This is in fact a racial issue, and black people inhabit lower social class also. But we see historically black people are murdered in this fashion for hundreds of years. See, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, even though this has happened to black people hundreds of years and so many black people down the line, bro, in 2020, it ain't only happening to black people. And because it happened to black people more, and now we arrived at 2020, and it ain't just happening to black people, I cannot negate the shit that's going on with all of our other people, bro. Because the attack is on all of us, not just black people. And that's the thing. So I don't disagree with none of that stuff, Iron Cone, but it ain't just about black people, bro. And yes, black people suffered more, but it's not, bro. It's not just about that. Obi in the building. All right, Gretna, I'm with everything you're saying. I heard a black cop accidentally shooting a white person. I know this shutdown is a money grabber and a social divide between rich and poor. For sure, Gretna. That's the thing that I'm trying to get across. And Iron Cone, again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but the focus is on that with a lot of people. They say, no, I don't want to hear that shit because black people went through this. But what does that argument matter, Iron Cone? When you read what Gretna is talking about. If the attack is on you and your brethren next to you that may be white, Hispanic, or whatever, just because you don't have the financial means to be not on the target list, what the fuck does it matter the transgressions that black people have dealt with for hundreds of years? That's the point that I'm coming from, because now you have brothers and sisters beside you that are in the same boat as you, regardless of the transgression that they've been through in the years past, because they will be murdered, dumped to the side, just like you, regardless. And it's all because of a social status. And we have to accept this, bro. Money gives you this false sense of certainty, right? The more we have of it, the more we feel we don't need other people, right? But really, the more you have of it, the more people's services you count on. That's a fact. That's a fact, David. That's a fact. And that's the image, and that's what they want to put out about money. That's how they want you to feel about money. They want you to covet it, to crave it. America remains a beacon of oppression and false narratives. Facts. Facts. D. Jefferson, you got to address how crime stats are orchestrated. You know what? That's a whole nother discussion. And that's a fact. And it is. They are. They're orchestrated, and they're also, the numbers and the statistics are manipulated by the media to orchestrate. I know where you're going with that, Obi, and you're right. And they're also manipulated by the media to orchestrate that. You're exactly right, bro. But that's a whole nother, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Things like this, all of what we're talking about now is attributed to how something like this could happen to this young lady, Breonna Taylor, and almost virtually go unnoticed, not even be in the public eye. There should be a uproar about this. These guys literally went into this lady's house while she was sleeping, murdered her, went back to work, and we have to pay their salary for it. And nothing's going on. Lewis Sports Network, what's up, brother? You understand? That's the problem that I have with this situation. Like, it's not even being talked about, man. I do want to send my condolences to whom I've been. Yeah, for real. Me too, bro. Me too. The story is tragic, and I hope justice is served. I feel so much for the young lady and her family. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. It's very unfortunate this happened to all of this conspiracy theory to protect the government, in my opinion. You know what? It's crazy, Ness, but it happens way too often. I will say that. Way too often. D is 2020. Other people do not face tragic state of American blacks. Obi, who's not facing the corona pandemic? Who's not facing the loss of the corona pandemic? This corona pandemic has just started. As more economies collapse and people, the poorer gets poorer and the richer get rich, who's not going to be facing the same fate? Is it only going to be black people, Obi? So in 2020, Obi, that's the shit that I'm talking about right now, because that's what's going on. That's what's in our face right now. This COVID-19, and COVID-19, the agenda behind it and the way it's going to rip through the economy is going to affect people on a social level. So all of that shit y'all telling me about blacks, I am not denying this, bro. Y'all telling me these facts like I'm not a black man. 44-year-old black man, educated, knowledgeable black man that don't know these fucking things. But what the fuck does that have to do with the fact that in 2020, during this COVID pandemic, when the shit hits the fan, the grocery stores are empty. The power of the American dollar has collapsed to doo-doo. What the fuck does it matter if you're black, Chinese, white, Mexican, if you don't have the financial means to sustain? What the fuck does that matter? You or Iron Cone, tell me that. What the fuck does that matter right now in 2020? That's what I want you guys to tell me. Because the same white man or a Hispanic man or Asian man or Indian man next to you will be facing the exact same struggle. If you're not filthy rich, you're going to be facing the exact same struggle. Obi, Iron Cone, the exact same struggle. And I want either one of you two, y'all could click the link and come explain this to me, or y'all could put it in the chat. How does that make being an American black any different? Because that's what the world is facing today, bro. And this is why I get what y'all saying, but y'all act like y'all educating me on shit that I don't know. I know this. But what are those facts that y'all talking about how black people suffered mean to all the people of the world today that's about to suffer, bro? Why is it still about black people? Why? Should we have some a personal shelter or some shit? Like everybody else is not gonna fucking suffer? Like, what is the point, bro? That you and Iron Cone make when y'all bring these points up that I already am aware of. Red Glove Militant in the building. That's what I'm not understanding. Double standard like a motherfucker, Viking. It is. Blacks are targeted regardless of class, but that's all bullshit. Right now, class is targeted. And that's where you're fucking wrong, bro. Blacks been targeted. So the only thing you can say are they continued to be targeted. That's the only thing you can say. Yeah, they've been targeted. But again, that's another fact that y'all guys are telling me as if I don't know. So if I defend my Mexican, bro, remember, I have Hispanic in my blood, white in my blood. So when I defend people of my family in my blood, you guys give me these facts. Like my white family or my Hispanic family don't fucking matter, bro. You guys give me these facts. Like now that they're in the same position that we're in, the exact same position, because they're not rich. And that's what it's about worldwide. Now that they're in the same position, that these statements that you and Iron Cone put out, like my other family members, our other family members around the world, the Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family members are not all black. I have UK fans, so they don't fucking matter now because the American black man has faced transgressions? Come on, bro. When are the American black people gonna let that shit go and understand that it is a world struggle now? That's what the fuck I'm trying to get into a lot of my brothers and sisters' head. That, okay, I get what y'all saying. I'm educated on this. I'm knowledgeable about this. But now it's a world struggle. Our Hispanic, white, Indian, English, German brothers are all facing the same fucking thing. So y'all need to understand that there was an elite group of people who did this to black people, but the ultimate plan was to do this to all people. So why are y'all holding on what was done to black people when the ultimate plan is in full effect and all people are in danger? Please make me understand that, Iron Cone and Obi. That is my problem with this shit, bro. Because I'm educated and knowledgeable to the shit you guys are telling me. But are you guys taking into account or looking at the perspective of what I'm saying to you? Do you think that this young lady, Breonna Taylor, that it only happens to ladies like her? Oh, no. Dig in the archives, my friend. It happens to more than just ladies like that. Obi, what's up with you? Right, Joe. Obi, you on now. Our Bauhauser said, Obi, you know how many applicate? Yeah, look at his face, fam. I have filled out that Hispanic or Latino are not on it. We have to pick Caucasian or black sometimes. Yeah. Like I'm saying, like, bro, it's a social difference. Johnny Boy said was just saying some stories about the police whooping my ass back in. That's what I'm saying, Johnny Boy. Like, motherfuckers, Johnny Boy is up in Chicago, and I used to stay in Queens, New York. And let me tell you something. It's those police in Chicago are, with the bullshit they do, like the police in New York. They used to jump out and we'd be on the side shooting dice. And look, bro, it's niggas, white, Spanish people in the hood. The police used to jump out and fuck all of us up, bro. Take our shit, beat the shit out of all of us. White, black, Spanish, it didn't fucking matter, bro. That was the police just beating the shit out of us, take our shit. They might throw a little bit back. So we could get on and they could come do it next week and beat the shit out of us again. Believe it or not, if you want to. That's exactly how it used to go. That's exactly how it used to go. Lou, what's up?
What's up, brother? I'm always hanging in the background. I enjoy everything you do, boxing, sports, all that. And
Right.
I'm seriously, I'm glad you're addressing this situation, man. And you're not coming at it in a racial, out of one race. I'm Mexican. I'm Hispanic. My best friend's black, and
Right.
I'm glad that you don't make it about just one race, because people aren't seeing the bigger picture that there's a lot of us in the minority, and if we were to all get together, not just blacks or Mexicans, we're stronger in numbers, and what they're doing is they're dividing us, and we're letting it happen.
That's a
And
fact, bro. That's a fact.
until we do something about it, we're just another Mexican or black or white person or Chinese person just dead in the books and dead in the water.
Yeah,
And that's BS, man.
it's very unfortunate because people in general, like, also what's the minority, Lou, is people that think like us. People that accept that concept and think like us. That's a minority. Because people are also thinking on their own side, their own race, and protecting their own nationality instead of understanding that, bro, we're all in this fucking struggle together. And I can't, like, again, I literally have Hispanic and white running through my veins, bro. So I can't discriminate against other races. Like, I don't mind saying, no, I'm not pure 100% black like some of my other people, even some of my family. No, I'm not. So it doesn't matter to me. But so what am I supposed to do? Consider my black side of my family superior to the white side of the Hispanic side? How fucking stupid does that sound for someone like me?
Because and that's the thing too, we make it about, we can't just make it about race, because then we're actually, part of us is we're racially profiling situations, we're racially profiling people or different. It doesn't matter. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I thought that was Obi. I think you have a problem with Mike. But Mr. Spook said, D, what is stuck with me is what you were saying about Bill Gates. And that kind of ties into what we said now. And it's like, the thing Mr. Spooks is talking about is what I was saying. Bill Gates, even now to this day, he's out pushing vaccination. But when that shit came into his neighborhood, close to home, immediately, really close to home, he refused to let his kids get the vaccination. So why the fuck are you putting the vaccination on the world if it's so safe, if it's necessary, if it's detrimental that everyone around the world gets vaccinated, we have to get people vaccinated. Why did you refuse for your family to get vaccinated?
Dude, can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Bill Gates has always pushed the fact that we're overpopulated. Now you tell me why somebody that pushes that is going to come up with a cure to save people.
Population control to annihilate.
Exactly. So why would he come up with a vaccine if he's all about population control? And people aren't awake. How do you not see that?
Right.
How do you not see that, man? I mean, you got Bill Gates pushing it. Oh yeah, he's got vaccines and this and this and that. But yet on the other side, he's pushing that. Oh, we're overpopulated.
Right. Intangible said justice probably won't be served because let's be honest, behind closed door, the cops is in fact filing the job. Yeah, for sure. Filling the job description. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's
I
a
don't
fact.
know, man.
Red Glove said coronavirus don't give a fuck about race. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Not keeping the same energy. Yeah, for real, Mr. Spook. Bill Gates ain't keeping the same energy at all. Like, you want me to put something in my kids that you're not willing to put in your own? Fuck you, Bill Gates. DJ Corona is spring. American blacks have been gunned down in winter. Listen, bro, there you go again.
Jesus Christ.
Corona is not spring. See, that's where you're wrong, Obi. Corona, spring, summer, winter, fall. This shit ain't going nowhere no time soon, dude. And it affects everyone, bro. What is more detrimental on a world level, Obi? Be honest with yourself. Something that affects everyone or something that affects American blacks?
You got to think past that, man. Think past that.
Is it something that affects everyone more detrimental or something that affects American blacks? See, ask yourself that question, bro.
We got to quit making it about race. What do people not get, man?
In the building, what's good? Fuck COVID, shaking my head. This is real World War III. The thing now is, will it be a retaliation? Bro, I mean, it's leading up to that at certain levels, Ness, and I know what you're getting at, and you know, that's another live. I just wanted to stick to the injustice of this young lady, and then things surrounding that. But it's getting really bad when we're getting to a point where the police can do a home invasion, murder someone. It's one thing when, you know, they're out and about on the job and they're chasing somebody down and maybe they shot an unarmed man, beat an unarmed man down or something. But you're in the safety of your home and they invade your home, shoot you down. Bro, when they start letting the police walk on charges like that, what the fuck are we doing here? Mm-hmm. And this is basically what happened to this lady, Breonna Taylor. And the police, with all of their evidence, have no evidence or no answers for anything. Well, we're still investigating that. And here's my problem. When they do a drug investigation, and this is something that I know firsthand because I went to prison for selling drugs. So when they're doing a drug investigation on drugs, here's something that which really puts holes in their story. So the guy that they were supposedly looking for, whom they had the drug investigation going on, which they tied all of this up into a drug situation. When they do a drug investigation on you, they have a whole lot already built up on you because they've been watching you, they've been looking at your movements and all of this, right? So how is it that this guy that you was doing that much investigating on landed at this house, but y'all know nothing about the house or the people inside of that house? That's how the police work? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. They don't just go kicking in doors.
Yeah, they would probably have both of the people in that house phone tap. They would have been watching them and their movement before
they'll have more paperwork than a damn phone book on you before they go kicking in your damn door. That's a fact.
That's right. So their story is not adding up. They went in there and they murdered this woman. This is basically what happened.
So now we ask the question, was there anything else that she knew or that she wasn't supposed to know, or was she involved in anything? Or I'm not saying implicating in a bad thing. I'm just saying, what did she know? Maybe she was a smart woman and knew something she shouldn't have.
No. This is clearly an attempt to cover up, bro. But they're so far in the hole, they don't know what the fuck to do.
They're in too deep. That's a fact.
They're way too deep. There's nothing. They can't even come up with a scenario to cover their ass.
Hey, but look at this. I bet you're still getting paid while they're at home.
Food at the grocery store. Thanks, Johnny boy. What you say? What'd you say, Lou?
Hey, I bet you those officers are still getting paid at home with their feet kicked up.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. I done fell way behind, man.
No, you good.
Mark Ramos said this shit is a world problem plotted by the elite. Yep. That's another live, but there is some facts of that. Samuel Shaw in the building. What's good, my man Ness Mendoza? I know I hollered you out, Ness. I swear I did, but just in case I did, my brother Ness in the building was good. Let me catch up with these chats, guys. Oh, damn. What was that? Okay, somebody just dropped the
Hey,
Johnny Boy, man. Appreciate you, Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy says, next time any of you run into a police officer, tell them Johnny Boy says, suck my dick and bring me a mocha cocoa from Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, I appreciate the super chat, Johnny Boy, and the laugh, my friend. That's good shit, man. Much appreciated. Chad Ross in the building. What's good? D Jefferson Media is full of shit because this is my first time here and they didn't do this to that. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Nothing. Not a word. You understand what I'm saying? Obi, I want you to get in. He said my mic issues. Any suggestions? I don't know. You came out and you went back in. If you got headphones on, you could take them out, come out and try to come back in. That's the only other suggestion I got, bro. But yeah, I definitely want you to get in on this. Not every case is the same. Can't label all drug cases the same. Damn right. Exactly, Boxing Monster. Exactly. LOL, salute, D. Yeah. All right, hey, man, that shit was funny. I'll put that shit back up there. I like that, Johnny Boy. One kid in the building. He said,
hey, D.
What's up? What's up, Lou?
I'm gonna drop out, brother. I'm on my way to work right now. But hey, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep pushing everything, all that knowledge. Keep spending it. Whether it's in sports, shit, politics, for all I give a shit, or just for the people. You know what I mean? Right. But I'll be in the background, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, thanks, Lou. Appreciate you coming on, man. You're welcome anytime.
All right, brother. Later.
All right. Yeah, man. So, just get back. Yeah, Obi, you could try that, bro. Back out if you got headphones in. Just back out, come back in. I'll let you back in if you got headphones in. Take those out. Other than that, bro, I don't have a clue, dog. D, I'm out. Respect. Okay, Mr. Spooks. I appreciate you coming through, fam. Appreciate you coming through, man. Let me drop this link in the chat in case any of y'all want to jump on. It might have disappeared, but yeah, man. I just RIP to Breonna Taylor, man, and condolences and much love and respect to her family. They're going through this situation, but again, this topic, this situation with this young lady is not something that needs to be masked. It's not something that needs to be suppressed or not even spoken of in the media. You know, what's a damn shame is that even myself, and I don't really watch the news a lot because the news is full of shit. And this is a prime example of why the news is full of shit, because there's no talks about this young lady being fucking murdered in her house by the people who's supposed to be protecting us, right? So that tells you that the news is full of shit. And I don't watch the news a lot, but I came across this through social media. That's a damn shame that I came across this through social media. So mainstream media, hush. No, we're not going to talk about that. That's the media that so many millions of people rely on for the quote unquote truth. They're suppressing the information, but you got to dig around through social media who's not credible. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's the problem. That's the problem in this country, and that's the problem with our media. I just tried it, fam. Damn, man. I don't even know, Obi. I don't know, bro, man. But that's the problem with our media, bro. Our mainstream media. It's getting to the point where even though you have to dig around, social media is becoming, well, I'm not even going to say becoming, but it's more reliable than mainstream media. You have to dig around, but shit, with mainstream media, even if you dig around, you're still getting deceived. And guys, look, it's truth is in what they're putting out in social and mainstream media. We got to understand this. CNN, Fox News, they are putting out truth, but they're putting out truth in a certain way. It's called suggestive journalism. So they're putting out the things that are true, but they're putting it out in a story that suggests a certain agenda or it suggests a certain plot or narrative. It's called suggestive journalism. Either way you look at it, it's still a lie. That's what Donald Trump means by fake news. So even if you go through mainstream media and sift through, you're still going to be getting deceived. You have to read between the lines, and the lines are many. It's not like this, reading between the lines. No, it's fucking 2,000 lines that you have to read between to figure out just one. That's the thing with mainstream media. You guys understand? So, like, man, I tell you what, Obi, look like you might be better. Okay, there you go. You nice and clear. I am nice and clear.
Perfect.
One kid says, Toby. What's up? What's up, Obi?
Man, I appreciate what you're doing, for one. You're always really articulate and bring up really good arguments, let everyone get their point across and things like that. So when it's like, when you're able to switch topics and cover something that's not just about sports and, you know, distractions of the world, it's really good and deserves a salute.
Appreciate it.
Everyone said really, really good things, to be honest. That's one thing I appreciate about Speak Your Mind. And it's just that we're all really respectful of each other, even when we have different opinions. So only thing I'd really say right now is just kind of touching on that Bill Gates thing to keep it a little more up to date, is like, he's a eugenicist. You know, he's never actually accomplished anything of note. It's kind of like that 90s thing where anyone who blows up quick, we solidified their spot, right? Like Steve Jobs never invented anything. Bill Gates never invented anything. They're frontmen.
Right.
Goes from there. And somehow it's like we look at Bill Gates like he's an authority on something, right? So now he's able to go to Africa, go anywhere he wants in the world, really, with that foundation, and then say, hey, we're here to help you guys out, doing whatever the hell he wants. But he's not even a master in his own field. So how do you go from being in tech, you didn't invent anything, you didn't innovate, and now here you are telling people what they need to put inside their bodies?
Right. A lot of people don't even know the fucking butterfly effect, the story behind Bill Gates, that his mom bought a scrapped idea. They don't understand that. That's a fact. Bill Gates' mom used her money to purchase a scrapped idea. Microsoft was was it IBM? I think it was IBM. It was a scrapped idea by IBM. And his mom purchased that because it was a patent on it, and then went Microsoft. That's the Bill Gates legacy, for all you motherfuckers that don't know. And I did not just make that up.
Not at all. It's known. It just depends on how much into tech you were, especially going into like 90s, into 2000s and things like that. It's an age thing.
I'm a tech dummy, bro. That's a given.
Oh, come on.
It's just the fact that, like, I read a lot, bro. And again, I've been like studying certain things that, you know what I'm talking about, that led me to this information anyway. But like just like you said, bro, what the fuck gives him the authority? What has he done? What he learned? What education has he acquired? Like he doesn't have a doctorate in social anything.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a doctrine in social anything, human anything. There's doctrine that you can get, and there's so many different ones. I can't go down the list, but they start off with human or social, and Bill Gates doesn't have a doctrine in anything. So what gives him the right and the authority? Because he has billions of dollars from the Microsoft scrapped idea? Because that's basically what it is. This is what Obi is basically trying to put out here, that this is what gives him the authority to run around the world and telling people what they need to do, because his mom bought a scrapped idea from IBM and he made billions. So that gives him the authority? Fuck Bill Gates.
Say it again.
Fuck Bill Gates. I will. Like, bro, fuck that.
It's just sad because it kind of I heard at the right point when you guys were mentioning how it got close to home, and he said, no, not for my kids, that whole situation. And it's not literally a black thing, to be honest. But when you're successful and you're from America, I'm very, very attentive as to what you do, not literally for your own people. I mean for your region.
Right.
Just to quickly touch on, like, I was never I respect LeBron from a playing standpoint. Like my game is similar to his and that sort of thing. But off the court and certain things that he would do on the court, it kind of kept me from putting him on a certain plateau or pedestal or what have you. The more I see what this guy's been doing off the court, it's like that's for me. He's like a go off the court. Off the court, there may not be anyone you could compare him to. Like just the what is it now? The I Dream.
Yeah.
Right, things of that nature, linking up with Kent.
He does, bro. You're right. Like he's huge. Like you know what I mean?
That is crazy. And imagine LeBron going off to. It doesn't have to be Africa. He could go to the Caribbean and trying to tell people about what they need to do or try to sort things out there. Right. I went at Oprah for this with my pops. Actually, we were having a quick convo, and I was like, "Listen, everyone knows she's synonymous with Chicago, right? After Mike's probably Oprah. But what is she doing over there? Not to say she isn't doing anything, but the headlines are about South Africa. What the hell does that have to do with anything she's experienced? Her life, the people that have been in her shoes, the people that are still in her position from before she got successful. You can help people in the world, but if you can't help people where you grew up or in your backyard, that tells me a lot.
Right. And then when we think about Bill Gates, like, let's think about some things, guys, because there's things that have been traced back to him, companies that he owned that have manufactured certain chemicals and toxins that affect these countries that he's going around the world spending billions of dollars in charity to save. Well, if you're the one and your company are the ones responsible for affecting this area, you should clean it up, you fuck. And why should we fucking praise you for basically cleaning up your mess? That's what's going on. And people don't even know. So a lot of these billions of dollars he's giving away is because of companies that he funds and owns are causing the toxins and the damage to the environment where these people live. So he's basically cleaning up his own mess and being praised for it because it's charitable contributions. Get the fuck out of here. That's the fucking deception of the media that people don't understand. George Golden says the police department has local news stations by the throat. Where do you think reporters get their leads? If the reporters start reporting bad cops, they lose their leads. They're cowards. Facts. Good point, George. Good point. Brown going one in the building. What's good, Brown going one? That's a damn good point, George. And it just shows you more of the corruption and how deep it's tied in. Charles D says, I'm back. That's what's up, Charles D. Yeah, man. That said, read between the lines, but you should explore more. Yeah, no, you can. Well, that's a whole lot. Because like I said, even when you read between the lines, you still got to be leery of that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to dig deep. So Taylor's boyfriend, Boxing Monster said, so Taylor's boyfriend was working on the trap house that the police were watching and followed him to Breonna home. And they entered the home and the shooting started. Nope, that's actually untrue. That's the story that they were trying to push Boxing Monster initially. But they cannot tie that young man or Breonna Taylor into no drug activity, period.
You got to remember.
This is why it's shaky. Go ahead.
Every time you hear things like drug related, like, maybe because it's 2020, we're forgetting a lot of the dog whistle terms and things of that nature. Like drug related, come on now, like that's anything now.
Bro. It's a cop out, a fucking cover up automatically. What Biggie say? What Biggie say? He said, "Sprinkle coke on the floor, make it drug."
Right, coke. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yep, and that was in the 90s. Obviously,
was in the 90s.
Biggie passed. And then Chappelle brought it back to the 2000s.
Make it drug related. Get the fuck
Chappelle
out.
brought it back in the 2000s when we're talking about just killing unarmed people or wrongfully murdering someone. And Chappelle came with the joke like, you just sprinkle some crack on them and let's get out of here. Because once you add that term drug related, there's no further investigation. We assume that you're guilty. You chose a lifestyle, and then you dealt with the consequences.
Right. And so Charles D, that's what I'm saying. Charles D said Monster, her boyfriend, had no criminal record. And they busted in the house in plain clothes. So he shot at them, thinking they were trying to break. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It was they did the background on it. See, the police can come out with any kind of cockamamie story they want to. But family, friends, job affiliates, school affiliates know that these kids were squeaky fucking clean, bro. They had no criminal records. They weren't involved in any drug activity. Neither of them had drugs in their house, in their system, or have ever been attached to even using drugs. So what the fuck are they talking about drug related? And then there's some fictitious guy that was allegedly spotted in their dwelling a week prior. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Hey, D Jeff, I got to pull you up on this right here because now you got me back onto the reason I needed to join. That is the dividing line as far as where American blacks deal with things that other people do not have to as frequently or without retribution. That's the only thing.
For sure.
Because it isn't that like black people are in a separate boat from anyone. It's just a matter of we are all in a bigger boat together, but there is still that thing that a lot of us have to deal with. But I only just wanted that to be clear because it kind of felt like we were trying to make sure that we were all encompassed together, and we are.
Right.
And who was it now? I Buy Houses. Shout out to I Buy Houses.
Yeah, that's
you're a frequent contributor. Yeah. And he mentioned something too where he was like, on a lot of these on registration forms and things of that nature, applications, they leave out Hispanic or Latino intentionally. Because he mentioned the tools for division, and it's true, but it's like it works. It's a double-edged sword in that particular aspect because there are a lot of, even I would say a majority like I Buy Houses, but then there's a minority who are like Zimmerman. Not to take it that extreme, it's just a lot of people kind of forget that correlation.
No, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. I just gotta take Costo boss said, "What up, D? What I missed?" Depending on what you in, bro, a lot. Because I've been going over a lot, but to summarize what's going on, what the whole conversation about is a young lady and her boyfriend was shot up by the police. Neither of them had any kind of criminal history. The police entered their dwelling in plain clothes, unannounced that they were police officers. The guy shot back, defending himself, thinking it was robbers or break-in, and they killed him. And it's being washed over, basically, because it's not in the media. None of those police officers are on trial or even locked up, and we're still paying their salaries. They're getting paid. And this is where it stands right now. And they have some cockamamie story about why the police did what they did. But then when the reporters start asking questions, they don't really have any answers. They're still investigating all of the so-called evidence that they have like 2 months later. It's just everything about the case makes no sense. It just seems like they're covering up a home invasion / homicide by police officers. That's basically what it seems like to me. What's up, Charles D?
Yo, they just had the family on the joint. I was just listening to it. That's why I said, all right, I'm back. Yo, them cops gonna get crucified. You wanna know why? Because they said they had a warrant. They had the warrant to the wrong goddamn address. They showed up to the wrong fucking house.
Yo, that's what I'm telling. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is crazy. And
how the fuck you trying to execute a warrant and you at the wrong fucking residence?
Right. And that's why they came up with the cockamamie story about the involvement with drug activity. Because just like me and Obi were just talking about, mention drug related and sweep it under the rug. But that's just not going to work this time.
That's not going to work at this one. That lady worked at 2 damn hospitals.
Just graduated, bro. It's promising.
That lady worked at 2 hospitals, and the other dude, he was in the healthcare field also. No criminal background, nothing.
Nothing.
Just that nigga shot his gun at niggas thinking, and he's licensed to carry.
That's what I
And
was
he
saying.
come in unannounced, plain clothes.
Right.
If I had somebody fucking with my daughter, I'm not asking no questions. I ask them shits after I'm done firing.
Bro, listen. I'm with you there. That's if they fucking with my door. These motherfuckers were inside of the dwelling. Nigga, you catching hot lead. Man, let me be rubbing my eyes. And I hear some noise. First and foremost, I'm going downstairs with the pistol.
You goddamn right.
I'm going downstairs with the pistol in hand, one in the motherfucking hole.
Shit, I got some shit with I got some shit with a shoulder strap, nigga. I'm sweeping whatever came through the front door.
So if you're in there, I'm shooting first, asking questions later if you're available for the interview, because you might
start be tapping his shoulder after you laid his ass down. Like, hey.
If you're available for the interview, then I'll ask questions. But you might not make it, nigga. Shit.
You goddamn right. To be kicking that nigga foot. Who the fuck are you? Kicking him right in the ankles. Pow!
Oh, man, I'm trying to tell you, dog. I'm not. Look, my family involved, bro.
Yep.
Move. What's up with your fam? Yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous thing. Lisa Bales, Queen Lisa in the building. What's up, sis? It's a dangerous thing, and that young man did, to me, in my opinion, that young man did exactly what he should do. He should have started firing off. Well, his girlfriend was in the bed naked. That's another thing. Think about this, guys. His girlfriend was in the bed naked, sleeping. He should have started firing off. He did what he was supposed to do.
And the fact that they holded him
didn't do anything he was supposed to do.
The fact they holded him for attempted murder, even though they know they wrong across the board, is fucked up.
How and then that's the thing that's killing me, Charles D. How is he being held for attempted murder and the cops are walking free and we're paying them?
Exactly, on administrative duty. Like, what the fuck is that?
What's going on with this shit, bro? And he did what he was supposed to do. Like I said, he did what he was supposed to do. He had a licensed firearm. There was an intruder inside the dwelling, and he used his licensed firearm. That's why you have it, for protection. The cops did nothing they were supposed to do. They did not execute the search warrant correctly, because you're definitely supposed to, first time you're supposed to announce yourself. When you
first to knock.
Dwelling, second time you're supposed to announce yourself. When you pull your firearm on someone and you want them not to resist, that's the third time under protocol that they're supposed to announce. Police, get down. None of the times that they announced this, they're in plain clothes. They did not execute the search warrant correctly. And this man is sitting in jail for attempted murder. They actually murdered someone and they're walking free and getting paid for it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, D, first off, everything about the whole shit was wrong. What you just said was protocol. Everything they did was ass backwards. First off, you at the wrong house. Two, you didn't declare what kind of warrant you had, search or arrest. Either way, you need consent to bust in. Now, if you hear somebody and they're not letting you in, that's something different. You don't just go into somebody's fucking resident, plain clothes, sleeping.
So they
and I hear you, I'm firing.
Yeah, they woke up to these motherfuckers in the house. I could have swore, because, you know, again, I was not always a saint. Shit, I'm not a saint now, but I wasn't always a good guy. I'm a good guy now. And I could have swore when warrants are being searched, because I've had them served on me before, it's police, open the door, right? They don't even just really kick it. Like, they still give a knock, even though they're going to serve.
They have to knock. They can't just come in, whether it's search or arrest warrant.
But if they were in the house, this means they entered the dwelling quietly, because these people were still sleeping. It is so much that's so wrong with this story, bro.
But yet they got him locked up.
Entity. They are the mind of the mindless shaping perception of reality. Yeah, that's a fact, Lewis. Yeah, bro. This is so much wrong with this story, bro. So much wrong with it. We need some community leaders out there. That's for sure. Charles, what's up? 1210 in the building. What's up, fam?
What's up, D Jeff? Charles D. I'm not sure who else is in here.
Simply
What's
talk.
going
on, fellas?
Simply talk. The
Obi
person
something.
that he was looking for was already in custody.
Obi, what up, Obi?
Wow.
Yo, D, that's another thing I forgot to tell you. When they did that, when they executed that warrant, the person they wanted was already in custody.
Look at that. Thank you, Simply Talk. See the speaker mind, Sports Talk family. Strong in this motherfucker. Thank you, sis. You see this shit?
I was hell bent on the warrant at the wrong address. I forgot to tell you that, yeah, the person that they was looking for was already in custody.
And that
And
I
look
didn't
at-
know. That's just more
Right, look at the lack of the ability of them doing the job in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but then they're
It
gonna
ain't
tell you the
even a
bull,
lag.
but
This
and
is
then they're gonna tell you the
intentional.
bullshit that we're gonna allow the precinct to do a thorough investigation. Nigga, you couldn't even execute the address right. Fuck you mean? You think
investigate yourself.
Yeah, like
Investigate
why
yourself.
why would I want you to investigate this shit if you couldn't even find you couldn't even hit the right address, motherfucker?
Right.
Like y'all are saying, administrative leave.
Exactly.
So how do they
desk work.
always have money to pay these dudes to either stay at their desk or go home, but then they
Taxpayers,
can't
man.
conduct these investigations effectively, thoroughly, not make these mistakes in the first place, right? Like an address. Come on now. They have so many administrative staff. How do you go to the wrong address, for example, dispatch and all of this? How do they not have simple checks and balances? Simple ones. We're not asking for like, you need to be omniscient here or something like that. But come on.
Especially when lives are at risk, because this is the type of thing that could happen. A shootout could pursue. So when you're going into a situation where citizens' lives are at risk automatically, then you should take every fucking precaution. It shouldn't be these type of mistakes.
Exactly. Because
How did you pass training?
Kids in there.
Like why? How do you get a gun on your hip? You know what I mean? And get a gun on your hip, and you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
You wanna know what's funny? If you ever ask, because I know a little bit about the law, them niggas stay fucking with me. Half these cops don't even know what the fuck they're defending.
Of course.
Because I'll say some shit and they'll be like, oh, and then I'll hit them with a law, a subchapter, and they'll be like, oh, what are you, some type of lawyer? No, I'm just a nigga who dealt with the law, nigga. Like the fuck? How you going to protect and police some shit you don't even know what the fuck you protecting and policing?
Well, here's something, Charles. I'll say to that. They don't know what they're supposed to be protecting, but they know what they're protecting. Because a lot of these motherfuckers we know are either bullied or they're racist. And I'm not just talking about white cops in this situation, because there's a lot of black cops that are racist just as well, and they become cops and put that badge on to strike back with the sort agenda. And a lot of cops are doing this shit, so that's what they're protecting.
Nigga, I had some nigga. Remember when New York Undercover was out, man? I had so many. I had so many motherfuckers I went to high school with that ended up becoming a sheriff or some dumb shit.
Oh wow!
Fuck with me. I'm looking at this nigga like you a whole sucker, nigga. I remember you from grade school, high school. Now you get up against the gate, man. Fuck you in this gate, nigga. You arrest me or leave me the fuck alone.
I know what you're doing, dude.
Yeah.
Power trips, that's what we call them, right?
Oh yeah. And half of them dudes you protected in high school.
Like I don't give a fuck about your badge. I whooped your ass before the badge. I whooped that shit after it.
Exactly. Well, but that's what I was trying to say earlier. I was just joking though, D Jeff. We were talking about, like you mentioned, your cousin. Like that's where a lot of these guys sometimes. He may not be one, but you know how it is. It's like a lot of times you got to remember these dudes, they're not black, they're not white, they're not brown or what have you. They're blue. They use that shield.
They're a clique.
Them niggas is a gang. That's a gang.
Straight clique.
The biggest gang. The biggest gang.
And like I said, right now, with the way these niggas is acting with the shit in New York, how they trying to manhandle niggas with this coronavirus because people ain't practicing. They're just a bunch of dumb shit. These niggas gonna have targets on their back because enough is enough a long time ago. So these motherfuckers right now is reaching a breaking point. Like I said before I slid off. Remember the DC sniper? We gonna get another one of them niggas. Except them niggas ain't gonna be hiding. Them niggas ain't gonna be hiding in trunks of cars. These niggas gonna be out in the open laying shit down.
Yeah. Hey, George Golden said the president of the police union is throwing a fit like the spoiled. Look, excellent child. The police union I don't know, Jordan, where you from, bro? I want you to put that in the chat, because let me tell you who really throwing the fit. The mayor. That's who really throwing the fit. The mayor of Michigan, whatever, he the one throwing the fit, because he got a whole lot of explaining to do. He's the chief of the whole police force. So it's all gonna fall on him at the end of the day.
It's gonna fall on them in every situation. Like the shit in Atlanta, that shit happened 2 months ago. Now that shit came to the forefront. He got some answering to do. This shit in fucking Louisville, they got some shit to do. All this bullshit that's happening in New York, fucking Cuomo and all these other motherfuckers, they ain't gonna want to deal with this shit. They gonna try to sweep that shit under the rug.
You guys got to remember where y'all live at. They will not answer any questions. The worst case scenario, one of them is going to get fired, right, or resign. They don't really get fired, right? They'll be getting replaced. That's all that's going to happen, because people are dying. Like, there's so many real problems going on that this will get lost in the wayside, because we're looking for accountability after that.
Well, this was going to be hard to fall to the wayside, because this person was an essential worker, worked at 2 hospitals.
Right.
Oh no, my bad. No, I don't mean Breonna Taylor. I mean, when we're talking about like going into New York and the rest of the different cities and the things that are just a little bit out of bounds.
No. The one in New York is not out of bounds. The cops gonna have to explain that shit, and so is the mayor. And the mayor's not gonna want to deal with it. The mayor's gonna either charge them. Well, that wasn't so serious, because that was just a fight. So it'll be some bullshit in civil court where they'll win some bread out of it, because nobody lost their life. It was just, cop got a little over aggressive. But in the case in Louisville, these motherfuckers took the life and potentially tried to take the life of the boyfriend and hit him with jail time for defending his home.
Right. Yeah. Well, Dr. Martin said they do have no knock warrants. The motherfuckers. Dr. Martin.
That's true.
Generally, but this is generally when somebody is considered armed and dangerous.
Exactly.
Or some shit like that. These people have no fucking record, bro.
I understand the whole no knock shit, but these motherfuckers was at the wrong address to begin with.
And the person that they were looking for was incarcerated. What kind of dumb shit is that?
Well, but just like what you were saying earlier, if the person is that dangerous to where you're going to execute a no-knock warrant, then you have to go to the right address.
All right.
That's a non-negotiable.
Jackson in the building. What's good, fam?
But they had the dude in custody.
Bro,
right?
But that's what we're saying. The fact that they're doing all of this and saying it was a thorough investigation, it wasn't that thorough. Because if you had him in custody, okay, say you don't know he's in custody, you still went to the wrong address. That shit could have been prevented.
Hey, Black and Brown, let me say.
They could have gone to a house full of kids and shot up.
Right. Well, let me say this too. Black and Brown says cops are scared. They pull triggers because they're scared. Listen, let me say this too. This is
don't become a cop.
Hold on. This is how certain narratives and certain things get built by the media. Yes. Listen, when you say that cops are scared, they just pull triggers. They're scared. This is a cop out, bro. We can't start leaning on this fucking narrative that, they're just scared because of the criminals. It's just like, I can't remember what, it was a talk show personality, but it's just like he said. They were talking about an incident that happened down in Georgia. When you have a black man, right, that jumps out of a car, a black cop that jumps out of a car with his pistol, and he runs up on 4 white guys with shotguns out in the fucking sticks. Do you think he's scared? No. Let's be honest. Out in the sticks. Do you think he's scared? So all of these cops, they still have a duty. They're trained to respond when they're scared, when they're in an environment like that. And we cannot allow the media to keep pushing this narrative. Oh, they're scared. They're scared little white men. No, fuck that, bro.
Yeah. Hey, DJ, real quick.
How the propaganda of the media works. They push these narratives and they say it. They repeat it over and over and over and over again. And then people start feeding this bullshit out. Oh, they're just scared. No, fuck that. Cut that
If you
shit out.
scared, find another career. You're not meant to be a cop
Exactly.
because
If
that
you're
shit.
scared,
Because
don't work
if
at
a
fucking
police
Walmart. Don't
officer,
fucking wear a gun where
they
you can
can't be scared.
potentially take somebody's fucking life. That excuse
Exactly.
has to stop being put out there. I ain't fucking hearing that they're
Police
scared.
officers
Go
scared.
work at Walmart or some shit.
What's next though? The fireman who turns his back on the burning building because he's afraid of something. It might be too hot in there, or the building might be a little bit older, or like where does the line get drawn?
If you're a fireman and you scared of smoke, you in the wrong profession. Just like if you a
the
cop,
wrong
just
line of
like
business.
just like if
That's
you
a
a
cop.
cop and you scared of danger, you
Yeah.
in the wrong profession
Straight up.
because
Straight.
you gonna come across it.
Yeah, no, George, I was asking you because they don't have the unions everywhere. So okay, yeah, that makes sense. So George, right there in the smoke around where the bullshit, you know, George, let me ask you this out there. How like how much is the story being publicized there? Because it's a shame that it's not being talked about around the country, but in the area in Michigan, how much is the story being talked about, at least in the state of Michigan? Chris says,
Yo, D,
fellas, on the
Black,
so,
Black and Brown said drop the link.
oh, okay. Yeah, George, put that in the chat for me, fam. How much is it being talked about over there? There you go, Black and Brown. Chin Smoke in the building. What's up? Luis Puente says they didn't give them the martial law, so they took it into their own hands to make their own martial law. So we can't let this shit slide.
They've been doing that shit.
They've been doing that type of shit for a minute, though. You got your own. Yeah,
Yo, D, that's you. You washing pots and shit?
No, that ain't me. Whoever got all that clanging in the background, mute yourself.
Yeah, that shit was wild loud. I'm like, who the hell's banging dishes?
Somebody pulling a you, nigga. Except they didn't motherfucking mute it. They had to keep the cooking.
Nah, I be cooking, nigga. I don't be washing the dishes. You can't hear shit. If you can hear me frying chicken, you got some good ass ears and a microphone.
What's up, Black and Brown?
The man said he be hearing the grease.
What's
pop.
up, D? What's up, fellas?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just
What's up?
Nah, hey D, I think my little message got taken out of context. That wasn't an excuse, and I don't see that shit on the media. I never heard no one say on the media that the cops are scared. That's just some shit that I've made up over these years because these motherfuckers be pulling the triggers for no reason. What do you pull the trigger for? What do you pull the trigger for? What do you pull the trigger for when the other person ain't got a gun? You know what I mean? If there ain't no one, if the other person ain't got a gun, why are you pulling the trigger? The only thing I can come up with is that they're scary ass people by heart. And like Charles D just said, why the fuck you become a cop if you're scared? You know what I'm saying?
And then the other thing is,
no, but fam, they have been claiming.
But wait, hold on, but this is also why the cops carry tasers. Why the fuck are you grabbing your pistol for somebody unarmed and you got a taser?
Yep.
Right. Let me say this right quick. Black and Brown, that is an actual narrative, my nigga.
Yes.
Even though you would just
narrative.
That's an actual narrative that's out there. They're just scared. So I just want to let you know
that shouldn't be an excuse though. That should be a knock. Like you should be knocking them for that. Like, why are you a scary ass cop? Why you become a cop if you're gonna be scared the whole time?
No, but Black and Brown, check it out. This is what they do. That's the narrative. If they tell you that they're scared and then you start to believe it, they can go around and kill Black and brown people whenever they want to, because they can always say, "Oh, look at this guy. He's so scary. I had to do something." It's a cop-out, but that's why they do it, because you're not going to call the cop. You could say he could say he's scared, right? But then what happens on the flip side? You, me, or whomever they're approaching is dead. So even if that guy says, "Oh, I was scared," it looks like he's trying to be humble or something, but he's not, because the other person is dead. So how scared were you really?
Yeah, no, I feel you guys. You guys are right. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know what I meant by it. You know what I'm saying? That was no excuse. That was no excuse in no type of way. That's me trying to be like, why else are you shooting unarmed people? It has to be because you're a scary ass person and your nerves get to you and you pull the trigger. What else is there unless you're a born racist and you're born with hate in your body? Why are you killing an unarmed person?
Or taught it.
Save yourself. Don't know what the fuck they're protecting. They have no clue. They're supposed to uphold that oath that they swore to the Constitution. Many of these fools have no idea what's in the Constitution. That's a fact. Go ahead, 1-2 kid.
Well, I mean, unless they was taught that shit in training, you know what I mean, or in the locker room by their team.
I'm glad you brought that up, 1-2. Why don't they start teaching them to shoot people in the legs? Like if you're dealing with an unarmed person, why is everybody getting shot in the chest?
Black and brown. The funny, black and brown.
Legs?
Black and brown. These motherfuckers fire rounds off every week.
Yeah. Hold on. My cousin is a cop, bro, and they do train them to do that. So, hey, Coach Stokes Boxing, come back in, bro. I don't know what happened, but I'll drop the link again for you. But they are trained to do that. Black and brown, but listen, I ain't no fucking cop, my nigga, but I done been in shootouts before, so, and I don't know what you have been through or if you've been in shootouts. Nigga, that shit don't apply when you out there. I mean, you can try to say, yeah, they know what they, but when them fucking bullets flying by you, bro, you going off of instinct. I'm not defending.
No, hold on, DJ. Hold on. We're not talking about shootouts. We're talking about a cop shooting an unarmed person for no reason. So we're not talking about a shootout.
You're not even.
But look, black and brown. In this case, the guy wasn't unarmed. He was already shooting at them motherfuckers. But even still, I'm just saying, in certain situations out there when it is a shootout and they still could have done things differently, you can't expect when there's a threat of a shootout or there is a shootout that these cops do everything perfectly because they're still fucking people. And when you got bullets flying at you or the potential that bullets will be flying at you, you can say what you want sitting here listening to news reports, but I'm just saying I've been in the heat where I'm back and getting shot at.
DJ, if it's a shootout, then that we don't even need to talk about that because if it's a shootout and somebody dies, then somebody should. If you're shooting at the cop, then you're probably gonna die, bro. But what I'm talking about is cops shooting unarmed people.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And if someone's unarmed and you become a police officer, then you should have the mind state, a strong enough mind state to be like, I'm going to shoot this dude in the leg to calm him down. And if you don't have that mind state, then you shouldn't become a cop.
Yeah, but just like Charles B said, they got fucking tasers for that. You shouldn't even pull your weapon. You shouldn't
even have your weapon out.
And
you know how hard it is in New York anyway to get a pistol as just a citizen.
Right.
But yet and still, these folks, they don't need to abide by their training. These people that shoot these people should be thrown under the jail, not in PC. You know what I'm saying? They should be treated like the hardened criminals that they are. Just because they got badges don't make them. Come on, man. Like, these people are so incompetent. The man was locked up. They already had the guy. Then they go to the wrong crib. Like, on how many levels is that slow? And then to have a gun on your hip.
Yeah, and then put them on administrative leave. Like, nigga, they are what? They pick which one who fired and put them in jail.
And you know, this is the one part that I don't get, man. This is the one part that I don't get. Then people say, well, we got to defend officers because they're out here to protect and serve. But these people ain't protecting and serving. These people that are under these investigations ain't protecting and serving. So you can't put them in that same line. You know what I'm saying? You can't put them in that same place. So they're trying to double up the narrative, you know what I mean, to cover the asses of people and just put a blanket statement over the top of them and say, well, you know, we're investigating all this bullshit. And it's like, yo, now would you be investigating if this was just two common folks getting into it? You know what I'm saying? Would this be a big investigation? Would you be digging into this? You know what I mean? Like I don't get it, man. I don't understand. It's more of a let's take as much time as we can to cover this shit up and come up with as many excuses as we can as to actually digging into what really happened.
Yeah, because you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to dig and find whatever kind of dirt which isn't there for the lady who worked at 2 hospitals and the boyfriend defending the house with plainclothes motherfuckers just barging in. There's no way they can defend that shit. So right now they trying to prolong that bullshit to try to find something, and they're not gonna find shit.
That's why they stalling out, because
they'll make something up.
They're trying to build a case. They're trying to make a case. That's why they're stalling out right now.
They'll make something up. But yo, real quick on that training and shooting people in the legs. if you cannot train somebody enough to understand when they need to use deadly force and when not to, they shouldn't be in the field because it's not too different from soldiers. Obviously, a soldier is a higher level of training, but if you're carrying a firearm in a domestic venue, right, or in cities, then you should have training similar to that of a soldier. You don't need to literally be a soldier, but the training should be somewhat similar. You should know.
But the training should be similar for a cop. You're out there dealing with the possibility.
Mark, that's what I'm saying. My homie is a cop. He was telling me that these new cops are shook. That's a fact. But look, guys, look, it's deeper than just like just training to be shot in the leg. They have an overall training where they train these cops to take what's called fatal shots and non-fatal shots. So there's plenty of shots on the body that they can aim for that is considered a non-fatal shot, bro. It ain't even just the leg. They can.
Most shots will not kill you in one shot.
We are. We talking about we talk about training of somebody and where and when they should shoot, right? But it should never even got to that point. What was their training to know that these motherfuckers was locked up?
You're at the wrong damn house.
Right.
Like, how the hell do you got a gun and you don't know what the fuck is going on? How the hell do you got a gun and you don't know what the fuck is going on? Like, how are you protecting and serving if you don't have the mental capacity to double check and to look into shit? Like that to me is just insane, man.
It's criminal. No, it's criminal. Whoever said that earlier, you're right.
It's ridiculous, bro. It
is criminal.
And
under the jail, PC, whatever. They need something needs to change.
Oh, it's all good. Well, it's like
but they're not gonna change anything. They gotta try to stall it out as long as possible.
The real problem with the police problem is that they have a built-in excuse because no matter how many cops go around killing people, it is not all of them. It is not the majority. And so all they're going to say is, look, if you take away our ability to do things properly, it only hinders the police officers that are good. And that's what they're going to say every single time. And that's true, but it doesn't negate the fact that people are dying.
Right. Boxer made a good point. He said the problem is the law. Cops are allowed to pull the trigger if they are afraid that for their safety. Normal citizens don't have the same protection. Facts.
Yep.
And then what's the fine? It's the fine line because how can you literally determine sometimes if they were afraid for their safety or not?
Okay, so the same thing as that shit. I don't know how. I know it don't work up here, but the same thing down there with that stand your ground bullshit. I seen motherfuckers get away with more than that bullshit with just that stupid stand your fucking ground law.
Oh yeah. Like you said, people that know the law and know how to manipulate it will save themselves in certain situations, man.
Look, Samuel said cop just got fired speaking the truth about cops don't follow the oath, following the Constitution.
He gets fired. So he gets fired for telling the truth, and these motherfuckers who fired the gun get administrative. Did they get a desk job?
Hey, y'all forgetting he got fired, right? They might kill him.
Yeah,
they take it far. Like give it a couple years, he's gonna turn up head in his bathroom by himself in a locked door. He's gonna be face down in his own tub. Some crazy.
Yeah, how many times did you hear about a cop that tried to stand up against his that team that he was with?
Yeah,
and then he shot himself in the head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They never turn their back on how they used to live and then get out clean, which tells you a lot.
Right.
What are they doing that's so bad that as soon as you say, hey, you know what? I'm not with this anymore, or we need to do things a little bit differently, their life goes off the rails. That's a little bit interesting. It's telling.
And the media got their back. I mean, got the other folks back too, because they pushing. Oh, this dude was insane. This dude was this. This dude was that. You know what I mean? So they be pushing that narrative too.
Hey, look, Coach Stokes just said, bro, I seen cops try to talk a dude with a gun out of his hands of a different color using it. That never happened with minorities. Look, my boy made a video a few years ago about this, Coach Stokes. He had a video with 8 different occasions where not only is what you're saying is true, but the white guys had guns pointed at the cops, loaded guns pointed at them, and they did not fire off.
Negotiations.
Right. But you let
Yep.
a Hispanic man
Yep.
or a black man or damn sure an Arabian man, a Muslim man, not one of them pointed gun at the fucking cop. Let them
Oh,
lift the motherfucker.
they gonna send a robot in. They ain't even sending no real cops in. They gonna send a robot.
Right.
Exactly.
As soon as they lift the fucking gun, they're gonna get gunned down, bro. Not pointed at them, loaded. Oh, blow your mother.
Nah, DJ. As soon as they see that the gun is in the car and this dude is not even in the car, they're firing. Let the word gun come into play. They're firing.
Look at what the cop did to the young lady's boyfriend who he told to get his ID. And the dude went to get his ID and he fucking...
And they slumped his ass. He didn't even get a chance to grab the pistol. And then they found out he's also licensed to carry. But he wasn't even reaching for the pistol. He was reaching for ID.
Yeah, when he reached that, the pistol wasn't there.
Hey, D, you talking about when the cop started apologizing to him after he shot him?
No. The cop ain't apologized. Shit.
Hell no, they slumped his ass. They slumped his ass and he fell on the shorty. He fell on shorty.
Hey, I see one where the cop started apologizing to him.
This is how it went.
No, the corpse?
Let me tell you how this
After he shot him in the stomach, he started apologizing.
Nah, they shot this mother. They lit this little motherfucker up and they.
It's a bunch of clips. So let me tell you about the one that I'm talking about. A cop told the kid to get his ID. The kid went to get his ID. The cop fired off. The kid's girlfriend said, "You shot him. He was getting his ID." The cop said, "I told him to show me his hands." He didn't fucking apologize.
He was shook,
He
D.
backtracked
He was
on
shook.
what the fuck he said immediately.
Yeah, and that's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Look how
And you know
scared he
what?
was.
You know,
Look how
Black and
scared he
Brown got a
was
point.
Over a
got a
regular
point.
traffic stop. Look how scared he was, bro, in his head. He didn't even know what the fuck he was saying, bro. I told him to
put
keep
your
his
hands up.
You
Yo,
just told
put
him to
your
get his
hands up.
ID.
Well, you shouldn't.
Hey, here's an
Get
idea.
on your knees. Get on the ground. Put your
here's an
hands up.
idea.
Grab your
Here's
ID.
an
He's
idea.
moving.
Don't take
Boom.
it seriously, but say, for example, he was a target and they sent this young cop, yo, go take him down. That would explain him being nervous. Just as an idea. I'm not saying that like.
What's up, Ernie?
Yo, did y'all hear the story about the nigga who? Well, he did some foul shit. He actually shot cops, but he did his time. I'm dead ass. He laughing, but I'm dead serious. He actually shot the cops, but he was the passenger in the car, and the cop happened to recognize that he was free. Now, mind you, like I said, he shot at the cops. He shot cops, but he went to jail and he was released.
Yeah,
them niggas lit his ass up as soon as they saw he was in the passenger seat, because they knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah, they got targets, man. They like the same way we were talking about investigations. They do. What is that? They be thorough. They do all this stuff. They know who everyone is for the most part. It's very rare that they come across someone that they don't know when situations escalate. Let me not say rare. That's not true.
Yo, Samuel Shaw said, trained to kill, trained to shoot to kill, especially against minorities, whether y'all want to believe it or not. Too many dudes still sleeping, need to wake the fuck up. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
to
crazy
speak
out
on,
here, but
you
got shot by the police accidentally and survived.
Hold on right quick, Obi. You have to believe comments like this that Samuel Shaw say when they're doing home invasions and they're committing homicide. Go ahead, Obi. Go ahead.
I just had a quick point.
That's scary, man.
Hey, but someone just said they usually know who you are. I don't know. In California, they got something called gang task force, right? They know who damn near everybody is. If you become a gang member, they know who you are, bro.
Right. No, that was me. Black and Brown.
Who you are.
You're Black and Brown. That was me who said that. That was me who said that because when I saw the story, I was like, yo, that's fucked up, because they knew who he was. They knew when he got released. It was like a couple days after he got released. And he wasn't the driver of the car; he was the passenger.
They followed.
So they made the passenger get out the car, and they asked for ID. The minute he went into his back pocket, they lit his ass up.
Yeah, but that's a no-brainer. That was always going to happen. That's like what I was saying with like cops who try to come clean or try to step away from some of the things that they're that their coworkers do, and then they get fired a few years later. Something crazy happens to them, suicide or whatever. Like they take that shit to the grave, man. They take what they do to the grave. It's not something you call them out and just back off, or you could fire at them and then do your time and come out and it's all good. They'll break your legs if they don't kill you. So sometimes it's like you'd almost prefer that they give you the hard way or send you back, right? They might plant something on you, which is just as bad as if they try to shoot you too, because it's like, yo, you could die and be gone, but you could get the torture of going back to jail when you didn't do anything.
Yeah, but the moment they get out, they watching them. I mean, I picked up my peoples and we hung out because obviously they ain't got no wheels. They trying to get their life back together. I'm running my mans around. I got pulled over 3 times and they just start talking to him every time. And I'm like, damn, what the hell? Like, what? Why y'all?
my car.
You know what I mean? Yeah, this is my shit. You know what I mean?
Before they let him out, your name came up on their desk, known associates, right?
Yeah.
All that,
Hey guys, two comments I want to respond to right quick. Coach Stokes said it's a group of cops for minority hunting bullshit. That's a fact. Anthony L says we can stop calling them cops. They are race soldiers, not cops. Anthony L.
Real talk.
Anthony L. Cops, acronym, cops, okay? Corporate operatives, right? That's the CO for you, right? Paid soldiers. Corporate operatives / paid soldiers. Cops.
Wow.
That's what they are. So we can keep calling them cops, my nigga.
I like that one. Say that one more time, DJ.
Corporate operatives, paid soldiers. That's what they are. Because America's a corporation. They're corporate operatives. They're paid soldiers, bro. So we can continue to call them cops. They don't fucking protect them. They're corporate operatives.
Wow.
And they look at you different too. I mean, my girl's homegirl, her sister was a cop, and she would talk about people like, "Oh, well, you damn civilians, like they different."
Yep.
Like they talk about people like they're nothing. It's like, well, where the fuck you come from? You were birthed with her, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck is you lost your? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, you have to know, that you look at people like these citizens, and it's like, what the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, your mom is a citizen.
You're a public. You know how you fucking embarrass them? Call them a public servant. Yes, that's exactly what they are, and they hate hearing that shit.
Yep.
Like, dude, you a public servant.
Jose, what's up, Jose?
But don't do
it. Said, since you put it like that.
Don't do it if you're riding dirty though, y'all.
Yeah. No, for real though.
No. On some G shit. That's the best time to pull it because they'll forget all about what the fuck they was intended to do, and they'll leave you the fuck alone. Be like, oh, whoa, what the fuck, public servant?
They won't. They might.
Oh, yeah, they will. Hell no, them niggas will forget all that shit and want to get into an argument with you. If you hit them with the right points, they'll leave you the fuck alone.
Oh yeah, that can be true though.
Oh, trust me, I got out of a lot of shit doing that shit.
Me too. But I'm just saying, man, it may not work.
Hey guys,
that comes with practice.
Can we go a little deep? Hey, can we go a little deeper though, and just and get a little deeper with it and say this whole establishment, ever since this country was built, it's made for a certain type of people to excel. And it's the things that are in place are not made for everybody.
Right.
So when they build when they build, the cops department and they put cops in place, them cops are there to protect a certain type of people, bro. Yeah. Not everybody.
That's right.
Like someone just said, what was that? Anthony L just said a little while ago. Them motherfuckers are there to protect a certain type of people, man. And these other people, the Mexicans, blacks, whatever other race, they're there to attack them people.
Yep.
This whole establishment, the whole America, man, this whole country, bro, this whole fucking country. I see my people out here getting treated like shit. I see Mexicans out here getting treated like shit, bro.
You know how real that is. You know how real that is. I'm gonna give y'all an example of how real that is. I got pulled over. They took my ID. I got a Sicilian name, and the dude reported me after reading my name and said possible Hispanic, and I was like, how the fuck? Yeah. And I'm like, how the fuck you just read my name? And I'm just like, damn, man. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, you motherfuckers is fucked up. And that is, you look this way, that's what you gonna get. You know what I mean?
This country
You carry
wasn't built
yourself-
for us, bro. They didn't build this country for us, man. That's bottom line. They didn't build this country for us. And now that we're here, they've already made the mistake. You know, there's too many minorities here, and now that this is what you get now. This is what you get.
Oh man.
Look, black and brown. We gotta understand something. The cops, and the reason I gave that acronym. Listen, the thing is that their oath is put out to us is there to protect and serve the public. But that's why I said corporate operative, bro. Their mission is to protect the corporation.
They did though. Remember that shit?
Yeah, the corporation is the government. Like that's really the agenda. They protect the corporation at all costs. So that's why they kill the citizens and it gets covered up because the real agenda is to protect the corporation, not the citizens.
That's a fact. Look how every time there's a recession or there's any type of dip in the economy, you guys are quick to bail out the banks, bail out the companies that really put the money in not in the banks because we don't even have money like that, right? So that's a mess.
Well, look at the whole Capital One conspiracy that happened where you're talking about families, hundreds of families lost their entire life savings. And
all of it.
Main execs of Capital One were found 100% responsible. None of them did a day in jail. They paid a fine of $1.7 billion. It came out that on the venture they made over 170 billion. The fine was 1.7 billion. Okay,
they paid a fucking piece of a small percentage of that bullshit.
They didn't do a day in jail, and the people that got jerked out of the money got a pittance of what they paid. All of them had to restructure their lives, go back to work or whatever. And these guys didn't do a day in jail. They paid a fine that basically would be like us paying $2 or $3.
People still ain't recovered from that, D. People still ain't recovered from that.
No, I don't know.
Some never will. Let's be honest.
Hell no. Like, you know, and that tells you right there too, like how it's all stacked against you. Number one, like if you file for bankruptcy, you got to deal with that shit. These guys just get bailed out. Boom. Big corporations, no problem. Boom. We got you. And then they give everybody checks and shit. It's like
that Capital One situation, for everybody that don't know, that wasn't even centralized in America. They affected people around the world in different countries. Different families, different businesses worldwide. They affected,
and they came up on that. You know, so I mean that, and these people, like you said, it's a lifelong. They got to deal with this for the rest of their lives. They got to try to fix that for the rest of their lives. They trying to feel. Yeah, this is sick, man. And you know they busted their ass just to earn whatever they had there too. So. That tells you these people just could do some bullshit and try some sly shit and just make.
If they do some bullshit, Trump will bail your ass out. Because remember the nigga who went to jail for the hedge fund shit, stole all that bread. I think he did what, 5 or 6 months, and Trump was in office, maybe a year, and got released, got pardoned on some sucker shit.
Right.
Man, you can't even hold a case against a officer for that matter. A lawyer will tell you they can't do it. You got to get an out-of-state lawyer to go after somebody if they violate your rights, because they all in the mix. Judge, DA, police, they all eat dinner together, give each other gifts.
You ain't lying about that, because my lawyer, when I got jammed up, was the prosecutor in a town I got jammed up in, so he couldn't represent me.
Yeah,
that's not even.
No, funny. I'm dead ass serious.
Yeah,
and the funny thing is, I never knew he was the prosecutor there. I just knew him as a lawyer. I didn't know he was a prosecutor or whatever. He was like, "Yo, I can't help you," and I was like, "The fuck you mean I can't help you? I'm paying you this money." He's like, "Yo, because I'm the prosecutor there." Right. I'm like, so when the fuck were you ever gonna tell me you were a prosecutor? I just thought you was a lawyer. And now the nigga's a judge.
Now hold on, Sam. You had him on retainer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dirty. Nah, he should have told you that. Like that's
But the county where I caught the charge, he's the prosecutor there. And then another situation, and then I had something else happen when I was already in prison, and I was like, "Yo, I need you to get rid of that." He was like, "I can't help you on that," because now he's a judge in that part of town where that happened. So I'm like, "This nigga's a judge in one town, a prosecutor in another town." It's like, nigga, I want my money back. Like, nigga, you can't even help me.
Real talk. Real talk.
Hey, fellas. Y'all give me some closing thoughts, bro. I'm going to shut it down. Julius just cranked up a live, so the nigga wants some more action going over there. But this topic, we spent 2 hours on this topic, probably a little more than I would have liked to spend.
I was about to say, I came back twice.
You could cook on this
talked about. So y'all give me some closing thoughts.
I'll go first. Hey, I'm just gonna read Martin. I'm gonna read Martin Ramos's comment real quick. He said a lot of these cops are 24/7. Don't realize this shit is a job. That shit is a true statement. And then the other statement I want to recognize is Coke Strokes boxing. We built this country. That shit is real as fuck, man. That shit is real as fuck. This shit was built on the backs of immigrants and other people, man. And that shit seems to be forgotten and unspoken of. Half this motherfucking land was stolen. More than half this land was stolen. But now we got all these other rules and all these other people that need to be protected. And this shit benefits other people, not the original people that built this country. So, hey, D, thanks for having me, man. Everybody on the panel, man. Good shit, man. Good shit, everybody. It's a good topic, man.
Yeah. Salute to everybody.
Obi, this is the first time you've been on here, Obi. I appreciate you coming on to kick it with me, fam. Give me some closing thoughts, dog.
I've been meaning to do this. I'm gonna start doing it more often and whatnot, just carving out the time. Closing thoughts. Honestly, it takes more conversations like these, just amongst as many people as possible. Like I said, when I first joined in, we got a really open-minded community here, and like really embracing everyone's ideas, especially when we don't agree. Rather than put people down, and like we need more conversations like this in other avenues and other venues.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Well, like I said, man, you're always welcome. Click that link. Appreciate you coming on, man. My man Charles D in the building. Give me some closing thoughts, fam.
Man, these cops are dirty as hell. And on a light, and we already know that. But on a lighter note, I was just listening to Rosario saying he wants to unify with Charlo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's talking about he want that fight next. No tune up. Let's get straight to the unification. So that's the boxing talk. But as far as the shit with the police and all this is crazy, man.
Gotta get that outro.
Yeah. That sounds good though.
1-2 kid.
Man, you gotta just keep in mind this land is stolen land built with stolen people, and they talking about things like building walls from the people who were here, who were stolen from. So I mean, that tells you everything you need to know right there. You know what I'm saying? And so just keep that in mind, man. When it comes to that, that's a different subject too. But I felt it had to be said. But thanks for having me on, DJ.
Also, the fact that you said that, how did you find land with people already on it?
Exactly, and that's the thing. You're building a wall from the people who basically, separating them. You know what I mean? I mean, they got reservations, Joe. Come on, man, get out your house and get in your closet. What the fuck is that?
Y'all check out what Sam Shaw posted. Samuel Shaw. About hold on, where is this now? I just missed it.
Let me see.
Tatiana.
No, that's boxing.
Nah, the one about Tatiana Jefferson, who got killed by a cop, and she was supposed to be there on a wellness check. Not to get into the whole thing, but just for people on the side.
Yeah. I remember that.
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
That's why I say a lot of these things go on. But hey, I appreciate all you guys coming on. Y'all know y'all always welcome. My closing thoughts are: listen, guys, these type of things, like I said, we need to talk about these type of things more often, just like Obi said. And I don't like to, Vladimir, appreciate you coming, bro. I don't like to really get off of sports, and I don't like to talk on negative topics, but some things just need to be discussed, especially when it appears that they're trying to cover it up or push it under the rug. And it's something that people need to know about, because we can't allow the police force to start doing home invasion / homicide. Y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.